Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. ¿Qué tiene tu amor que me hace danzar? Que yo al tocarte no puedo parar. Es algo que es muy difícil para comprender. Es algo que corre por mis venas y todo mi ser. Es algo que es muy difícil para comprender. Yeah. Es algo que corre por mis venas y todo mi ser. Es algo supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, amor volcánico, amor titánico, electrónico, supersónico, amor volcánico, amor titánico, supersónico, electrónico, amor titánico, amor volcánico, electrónico, supersónico, amor titánico, amor volcánico. Necesito un toque de tu electricidad y de ese voltaje que me hace temblar. Es algo que es muy difícil para comprender. Es algo corre por mis venas y todo mi ser. Es algo que es muy difícil para comprender. Es algo corre por mis venas y todo mi ser. Supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, amor volcánico, amor titánico, electrónico, supersónico, amor volcánico, amor titánico, supersónico, electrónico, amor titánico, amor volcánico, electrónico, supersónico, amor titánico, amor volcánico. Es algo que es muy difícil para comprender. Wow. Y es algo supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, electrónico, supersónico, supersónico, volcánico, amor titánico, electrónico, electrónico, amor volcánico, titánico, supersónico, electrónico, amor titánico, amor volcánico, electrónico, supersónico, amor titánico, amor titánico. Jacob el Federal, el rey de los tonos.
Visionero y Adrián, no hay más que decir. Para ti, papá.
What up, what up, what up? How's everybody doing? Welcome. It's Wednesday. Usually do it on a Tuesday, but we like to change things up a little bit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Lights, Camera, Accion, episode number 4, season number 2. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those that are people that are in the chat or that are on the stream but are not on the chat, thank you guys for tuning in. I got to get this. Hold on one second. Anyways, I'll do that after. But how's everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been a very interesting week. I had a whole bunch of events, a whole bunch of shows, and I'm grateful that I'm back in front of the camera. You know, and today I have a very special guest, someone that I've known for many, many years. As part of his wedding, I was there at that very special dinner that we had before everything took off many, many years ago, alongside Andres Ramirez, Chris Toma, Nico P. I think it was it somebody else? I think it was Max's sister as well. She was working at that specific place. But we'll talk more about that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, this is the Lights, Camera, Accion podcast, season number 2, episode number 4. For those that are new to the show, my first season was only on Twitch. So I did 28 episodes the first season. And hopefully I get to upload them in the near future. And pretty much this podcast is something that I just threw myself into, you know, just to doing because I don't like the attention. Never been the person with the spot that likes the spotlight. I've always been the one working behind the scenes. And something just told me, you know what, just try it, go for it. And I did it. And it was very scary. It's still scary. My hands are still sweaty. And I still get nervous. And my guest is talking on the mic, but he doesn't know that the microphone's off. But it's okay. But anyways, I'm just grateful that you guys are here today. It's going to be a very interesting and very fun podcast. And without further ado, I also want to introduce my co-host. This is the first time that I decided to have a co-host on the show. And his name is Mario Funes. And before I switch to the camera to everybody else, I have a little introduction that I have for Max that I wrote, Alx Veliz. And once I say this, then I'll call him out. Sorry if I'm sweating. Again, this is real. This is all live, and I'm controlling everything while running the show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, with over 100 million streams worldwide and a global smash hit in Dancing Kizomba, this week's guest has proven he's built for longevity. From earning gold status in Canada to going platinum in Spain. Sorry, he's making me laugh. From going platinum in Spain, touring internationally, and lighting up some of the world's biggest stages, Alx Veliz is the real deal. Often described as ahead of his time in both lyrics and production style, his journey is a testament to vision, resilience, and evolution. And the best part is the best is still yet to come. Join us for a very special conversation as I sit down with my brother Max Bernard as I've known him, and to reflect on his come up, the memories and the moments that shaped the movements. Like I said many years ago, more than 10 years ago, remember the name Alx Veliz. Damas y caballeros, con ustedes, my brother from another mother, Mr. Alx Veliz.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir? How are you, man?
Good, bro. That's an amazing introduction. Wow.
Trust me.
Wow. Mira, se me erizó la piel. Mira.
Don't lie. How are you, brother?
Good, brother. Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. And
I couldn't not say yes.
Well,
we've known each other too much. You hold all the keys to the secrets. If I say no, then well, who knows what's gonna be, what lid you're gonna pop off. So no, I had to.
No, man. But again, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, I would have loved to have you in the first season, but Dios sabe por qué hace las cosas, and I'm grateful that you're here. And like I said in the beginning of the show, I have a co-host this year that I decided to add into the show because I want to add a bit more depth, a bit more, something different to the podcast. So, Mr. Mario, how are you, brother?
Dímelo, how you doing, man? God bless. Hopefully everybody's doing great out there. Thank you for tuning into this very special episode, and good to see you, man.
Yeah, I've known you forever too. I think I've known you longer than Jonah.
Probably.
Yeah, we were in our teens, man.
Yeah, bro. I used to carry you like this. No, not that long, bro. I'm not that old, bro.
How was the drive? Good?
Oh, yeah, good, bro. I'm good.
Hold on. If you don't mind, Mario, in the meantime, just check the chat because I'm trying to put the chat on my page here, but I can't pull it up here.
Yes, sir.
Give me 1 second.
Shout out to my chat over here, too.
Oh,
Salud, mi gente.
You're live on Instagram?
Yeah. I'm live over here.
Nice. Invite everybody to the link.
Yeah. Go over to the YouTube link. I posted it on my story, and you can see the full thing live and
direct.
Tú sabes cómo la cosa. Anyway. Damn, your cameras make me look super buff, bro. Holy, look at what?
It's all the filters that I have on you.
Damn, thank you, bro. I love it, man. I love it.
Anyways, hold on. So let's get the show on the road.
Yes.
Just to let loose and chill with the anxiety and just the running up and down and stuff. I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions. All right. First thing that comes to mind, just go for it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do. Do you have a bucket list?
Do I have a bucket list?
Yes. Yes or no? Quick.
Not really.
No. Okay.
No.
Do you sleep with stuffed animals?
No.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yes, I do.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Do you prefer driving or flying?
Driving.
Okay. Do you prefer social time or alone time?
Alone time.
Okay. Are you a planner or are you spontaneous?
It depends.
Okay. Coffee or tea in the morning?
Tea.
What's your dream vacation?
Jamaica.
Okay. Salsa or merengue?
Salsa.
Okay. Not bad. You passed. 10 out of 20. Anyways, all right, so let's get to the show on the road.
All right.
So like I said, I know him as Max Bernard. I've known him for many years, and obviously his stage name is Alx Veliz. But Alex, if you don't mind, let the viewers know who Alx Veliz is, where you come from, how old you are, all that beautiful thing.
Wow. I really hate talking about myself, bro. That's why
man.
That's why I loved your intro, because I always say that I suffer from Kanye syndrome. I have like a little Kanye on this side, and then I have Jesus on this side. Kanye over here is saying, "Yo, talk your ish," you know what I mean? But then Jesus on the other side saying, "Yo, be humble, be humble." So that's why I just don't like talking about myself. But yeah, my name is Alx Veliz. Man, I think that's the hardest question you've asked
So far,
or anybody has asked, is to introduce myself or speak about myself. What I will say is that I believe I'm an innovator. I believe in innovation. I believe in new sounds, thinking ahead of the curve. I believe in fusions. I think that my music speaks through the different cultures that I grew up with. And I always like to reinvent myself and reinvent what I believe will be the future of music. I sing in Latin, in Spanish, in English, pop, reggaeton, R&B, hip hop. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, listening to Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, Juan Luis Guerra, Marcos Witt, bro. My spectrum is like, so I have so many different influences that I feel or I hope is reflected in my music. And yeah, man, I don't even know what else to say. I don't even know what else to say, because like I said, I have Jesus telling me here like, yo, relax, bro, stay humble. So I'm like, okay, let's just stay humble. Let's just stay with my wine and stay humble.
What kind of wine are you having?
I don't even know, but it puts me in the mood.
Yeah, so tell me how this guy shows up to the office. And mind you, we're very close. I've been in his life for a couple of years now. This guy shows up to the office like if he owns the place. Goes into the fridge and I had no idea we even had wine. I go into the room and I'm like, what are you drinking? And he's opening a wine bottle.
You know what it is?
I'm having water.
I feel my wife's gonna kill me, but I feel like when I got a little bit of wine in my system or anything, I feel like I flow more because of the barriers or the walls I put up for myself. I think we'll go deeper into this, but growing up in church and growing up in the Christian background and everything, you are told to stay humble. You are told to not cross certain boundaries, especially when you're talking about yourself. And not to mention, growing up Latino, your mom, like my mom would always say, if there's anything good to say about you, let other people say it.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So for me, at least like with wine, it kind of drops down my guard a little bit. I don't know if it's right or wrong. At least for me, that's where I stand. I'm just a very transparent person. And for me, if like a wine will kind of like drop down my guard a little bit so I can flow a little bit more. So once in a while, I'll have my glass of wine.
Some liquid courage, like somebody said on the chat.
Liquid courage, exactly.
Exactly. All right. Mr. Mario, you have a question or you want me to just ask first? Or
no. Just shout out to Marcos Witt, man.
Enciende una luz.
What's your favorite song from him?
Bro, you trust me, you do not want to go on this in you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because then we'll end up crying over here.
This
and also
early of the in the show.
Exactly, because then we'll end up crying, ministering, and this is going to be a whole different show. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
So, but what is that called? Yo nací para adorarte. I think that's, I don't know what it's called, but that's the one that I like from Marco Sweet.
Okay, not bad.
Is that a more recent one, or is that
No,
from the
that's
days when he looked like
school,
Kelsey
that's old
Grammer,
school.
Frasier?
Vivo
Longer.
para adorarte.
Okay.
Vivo para adorarte. Yo vivo para adorarte.
Yeah, Marco Sweet is he's a legend, man.
All day, every day, bro.
For those in the chat, how's the volume? Please let me know. I have some music in the background. Let me know where the volumes are good, and we'll get the show on the road. Let's see.
¿Cómo que get the show on the road? Ya estamos viajando, papi. Ya estamos por allá, la 401.
Max, when
Yes.
you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I always wanted to be a singer. I always wanted to be an artist. Since I was, I even from the age where I didn't even know what that looked like in my mind, listening to, again, like Bob Marley and like seeing Michael Jackson perform. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to perform. I wanted to write deep music and give something to the public. So ever since I was young, this is what I wanted to do.
Who's one of the other questions that I asked here? I'll add to it, but in terms of your musical influences, who are the top 5 that I guess not only you were a fan of, but what were some of the musicians that helped you in regards to like how you made your beats and how you wrote and stuff like that?
I would say my writing. In my writings, my inspiration for my writing comes from Ricardo Arjona, Juan Luis Guerra, Vico C.
Yo, shout
Vico
out.
C.
Yeah,
Vico
Vico
C.
C is what transformed my life. Honestly, Vico C is what.
Same here. I was just telling you about that.
I think Vico C is what made my switch from like Michael Jackson pop star to wanting to be a little more deep and hit more social, and just what's hitting the communities and everything, like be more in depth with my lyrics. But yeah, Vico C, Bob Marley, Juan Luis Guerra, Ricardo Arjona, like I said. Who else?
In terms of producing, what about producing?
Producing, producing. It's weird, bro, because I just named like a bunch of like Spanish people, but then on the English side, I had like obviously Jay-Z. I had Kanye West. Then I go onto the Christian side, and I had what were these guys' names? Cross Movement.
Oh, shout out Cross Movement, the hip hop group.
Yeah. Cross Movement, Grits. I had like Gospel Gangsters. Like
Man. That was the first Christian album I ever bought, Gospel Gangsters.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, and a lot of people don't know this because if you're not in like in depth into the I guess music world behind the scenes, you don't realize the cross that happens between Christian music and non-Christian music, quote unquote, and the influences that go back and forth on both sides. You know, I could play you a U2 song, and I can play you a Steve Curtis Chapman song, and you'll be like, yo, those are the same chords, those are the same melodies, you know. So I think that formed my musical taste, you know. So I believe that at a young age, that's something I believe was a gift from God, where it's like I was able to understand that music can connect you spiritually instead of just emotionally. So I learned that lyrics will hit you, you know, a lot deeper if it's meaningful for the masses instead of just for yourself. So I learned to write not for myself. Yes, it's real for me, but I learned to write for what's real for community, what's real for what the people are going through nowadays. And so, yeah, those are the people that influenced me.
I heard you almost had Just Blaze on the tip of your tongue and you didn't
Just
say.
Blaze.
So is it Kanye or Just Blaze?
In
for you?
production wise, it was honestly first and foremost Just Blaze. Then it was Kanye West. When College Dropout dropped, shout out to my, you know, my favorite cousin that passed like 2 years ago. I think we're going on 2 years, a year and some change. But he actually would always put me onto music before it came out. And you know, God rest his soul, Fudge.
My condolences.
Yeah, thank you. He would always bring me mixtapes before they came out. So I had the Kanye West College Dropout before it came out. I had the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying before it came out because he used to work for Universal.
Word.
And so I used to get all this stuff before. So I remember when Kanye West dropped College Dropout and I had that, I was like, what is this? You know, his sample beats and everything. It was incredible for me, and I think that took me a little bit deeper into production for sure. And on the Latin side, we had Tiny. Tiny for me was somebody that, well, Looney Tunes obviously because they were pioneros. But then I remember when I heard Tiny's production, because Tiny for me was the Latin Timberland. So when I heard Tiny's on Los Benjamins and Mas Flow Dos, I was like, what is this? And I think those were my influences for sure.
For me, when it comes to Tiny, I've always been like Looney Tunes number 1, DJ Blast number 2. But when Tiny came out with his beats on Sangre Nueva, that's when I was like, whoa.
Wow, Sangre Nueva was a big album.
Awesome. Mr. Mario, you have a question for him?
I mean, shoot, we've known each other for a long time. Maybe not so much questions at this point in time, but I just want to traveling down memory lane, you know, just thinking about today's episode when Jonah told me that we were all going to be sitting here. I always wondered that at some point, at some capacity, like we would run into each other. You know, I think the last time that we saw each other was at the radio show, right? With William Dinero.
Yeah.
Shout out Latin Beats TO con William
Shout out,
Dinero.
William.
Say
Shout out.
HHA 16 AM on Wednesdays, 4 p.m.
There you go. Get that plug, bro.
And, you know, like it was really great seeing you there, you know, but it's like, you know, that's a little bit more polished, I guess you can say. But I always felt like at some point, one day, we would work at some capacity. And here we are. Like, I always felt that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know,
I
and
mean,
this is the best way, I think.
oh, yeah. And it's an honor to be here with you guys. You know what I mean? I don't do podcasts as often. You know, I don't do shows. Just because, like we were saying off camera, I'm a very transparent person. And especially with some wine in my system, I become more transparent, almost see-through.
I'm gonna go get more wine. I'm gonna call someone.
So I choose not to do a lot of podcasts and everything. But you know, you guys are my brothers. I grew up with you guys. So when you guys said, "Hey, can you join us?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So it's always fun, man. Let's make it happen. There it is.
I have a music production question for you.
All right.
You started with Fruity Loops, right?
I still use Fruity Loops.
Still use Fruity Loops. Okay. A story for me, a background story is, I think I've told you this, is like when I was starting to make my own music back when we were kids, it was FL4 during that time. And I had just the stock sounds. And then you hooked me up with a CD full of sound fonts, all the reggaeton sounds, everything, Dr. Dre's like samples, everything.
I need those sound fonts, bro. I lost my hard drives, bro.
I lost that CD. And that laptop that I had crashed. I don't even know where it is these days.
You know how good those sounds would be right now?
They were amazing.
With
man.
all these reggaeton artists trying to relive the back in the days, like the nostalgia. Those sounds would be epic right now. I mean, I have some, but funny story. Those sounds that I gave you, I got when I traveled to Kissimmee, Florida, and I was recording my first Christian album. And I was supposed to be signed with Manny Montes.
Oh, shout out, man.
Yeah. That was the days of like Funky, Manny Montes, the mecca. Like after it was Vico C, then it was Funky, Manny Montes, and it's like it kept going. And I was supposed to be signed with Manny Montes. And I was supposed to fly to PR to sign. But then, and I was 16. And but homie took forever. Like I'm talking about like 6 months, and I didn't get a call back. So then all of a sudden, some artists came to Toronto to minister at some church, and they're like, hey, we're starting something. Would you like to come over here? And we went. He's like, they specifically said, come over here, let's produce an album, and we'll fly you out to PR. And then I went to Kissimmee, Florida, and then that's when I met a bunch of like pioneros of reggaeton, like behind the scenes. And that's how I got those sounds. Like I got like the original like Looney Tunes kick snares,
Yeah, man,
everything.
it was complete.
And that's how I got those sounds. And nothing happened with that Christian album, bro. Nothing happened with that. I never got flown out to PR or nothing. Like it just flopped, but hey, it was meant to be, bro.
You don't have it, like your own copy of that?
Nothing, bro. Now I learned my lesson. Now I got 6 hard drives, backup to a backup to a backup to a backup, because I'm like, I've lost so many. I've lost albums of like, you know, when the hard drive, because back in the day, like now you have the SD cards. Back in the day it was that needle that would just go around and around, and if that needle like it slipped or something, your hard drive was done.
Yeah.
So I lost so many hard drives, but now I learned.
Lesson learned, brother. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
So before we go a little bit deeper, what does Alx Veliz like doing on his alone time? You know, when he's not in the studio, when he's not writing, even when he's not with his family. What do you like doing?
When he's not with his family,
Yeah. What do you like doing just to, you know, kill time or, you know? Yeah.
eat.
That's all of us.
I mean, I'm a foodie, bro. I'm a foodie. I enjoy food a lot. I like working out. I like working out a lot. And I enjoy watching TV. I enjoy watching series. Like I am a huge sitcom buff. Like that's what I enjoy doing on my free time for sure.
Awesome. So Max, for those that don't know, Max was a Christian singer as well, part of a duo called Visionero and Adriel. I wasn't in his life around those times. Let me change the camera, sorry. I wasn't in his life around those times, but I heard a lot of things, not even just from Max, but just from a lot of people. You guys kind of took off for a while, and things were kind of becoming a big deal. So if you don't mind, let's just briefly let people know, you know, and I know Mario could add to this because Mario was around, you know, when you were doing all of this stuff. And I remember I still have this CD, El Supersonico. I still have it at home.
Nice.
You gave it to me many years ago, and I still have it at home.
Supersonico Electronico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have it at home and stuff. So yeah, just let the viewers know a little bit how that started, and yeah.
I mean, like I said, I gave a little bit of background. I started when I was 16, and you know, I was supposed to be signed with Manny Montes, which Manny Montes was like the guy back in the day. But it got our music. I remember just because I've always been so innovative and try, and I don't know. I believe it's a gift from God where I can see certain sounds or certain rhythms or certain patterns that are going to become popular, that I've been able to produce that before they become popular. So that was something that we had as an advantage as a Christian duo, and it became so big that I remember we ended up opening for Tito el Bambino, Zion y Lennox, Chris y Angel, Don Omar, Baby Rasta y Gringo as Christian artists.
How old are you again?
At that point, I was 17, 18.
Jeez.
Yeah,
And
as
right now you
Christian
are?
artists.
How old are you now?
Don't worry about that right now, bro. Don't worry about that. I'm
Listen,
as old as wine, bro.
He doesn't look like it, so that's why I asked him. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
This is my third life, bro. So we ended up opening up for all these artists as Christian artists, and yeah, like it. We ended up touring Latin America. We ended up touring Colombia, Venezuela, Salvador, Guatemala. Where else did we go? The States. We were like hitting in Miami back in the day. Like we opened for Manny Montes, Redimidos. But that's on the Christian side. Like I said, on the secular side, I think we were more respected on the secular side, like quote unquote secular. What people that don't know, secular was like non-Christian. So we were more respected on the non-Christian side than the Christian side because our music was like hip hop, and like R&B and reggaeton, which was not that accepted back in the day. So when we were doing that, the non-Christian crowd would accept us more. Monchi Alexandra, we did so many. It got so big that I remember we did the concert here in Montreal in the Merengue Fest that they have, that the closing act was Tito el Bambino. And when Tito came on stage, we came on stage to open for him, then he came. When he came off, he said, I want to sign you guys. And bro, we had the contracts, everything. We were going to sign with Tito el Bambino. And then again, maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing, bro. We ended up waiting like 6-7 months and nothing happened. So we just kept going. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't wait anymore. But yeah, it just became so innovative at that point, you know. But after a while, I just feel like it got a little tiring. I got a little desanimado, like very heartbroken, because I felt like there was more criticism within the church than outside the church. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm trying to bring something to these people, but these people aren't accepting it. And that's another story, but I've always been the black sheep within churches, you know what I mean? Because I've always cared more about relationship with God than religion. And that always casted something on me in the eyes of like leadership and everything, but I am who I am, man.
Yep. So this song in the background right now, I'm going to raise it up a little bit. Supersonico Electronico. Tell us a little bit about this specific song. What does this song mean to you? Because like, look at this. Like, this is, how old is this? 16 years ago, guys, minimum. And look how it sounds. So like I said in the beginning of the show, he was always ahead of his time. And I'm not the only one that says it. I'm not saying it because he's my friend. A lot of people, labels that signed some of the biggest artists in the world have told him this. So like, listen to this. Crazy.
I mean, yeah, like when Supersonico Electronica came out, that album came out because we were supposed to be on tour with Lecrae. It was gonna be Lecrae and Tripoli's first American tour, and it was supposed to be with the label that I signed with at the time, which was LP Records. And
Is that a Christian label?
Yeah, it was LP Records, and it was gonna be a whole. At least that's what they promised us, right? It was LP Records and Lecrae and Tripoli. Like it was supposed to be like an American tour. And I remember at that point, Lady Gaga had not come out yet. And Kanye West just dropped 808 and Heartbreaks. And because I grew up in Canada and we had that boom of Euro music, you know, that electronic music, I said, how can I make a fusion between electronic music and reggaeton? And that's how Supersonico Electronico came out. And then months later, Lady Gaga started coming out with Poker Face and all those like fusions of electronic music, and that boom, Tayo Cruz and everybody that came out with that electronic
Red
boom.
One was the one doing that sound.
Red One, exactly. You know what I mean? And I credit it back to growing up in Toronto, because we grew up in what I believe is the mecca of music. We grew up ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like we have soca, we have, you know, Bhangra, we have so many different like genres of music before anybody else does, and we create a fusion with a little bit of hip hop, urban, R&B, now Latin music, and we've always had that, and that's where Supersonico came out of, you know.
And you produced it? You produced this one, huh?
This one was co-produced. Everything I've done, that's another story, but everything I've done is co-produced. I can't produce it. I consider myself like a Quincy Jones, right? Like a, you know, like
a director.
Exactly. Like I can direct, I can produce it myself, but I choose not to, because I strongly believe in collaboration, and I believe that other people can bring out the best in you. So I enjoy working with other people. Sometimes it doesn't work as well because you have to wait for other people, but in most cases I enjoy doing that, you know, and that's why, yeah, Supersonico, co-produced by myself, everything there. And funny enough, now that we're talking about the Christian album, the producer of, not Supersonico was the second Christian album. The first Christian album was called Alternativo.
That's right.
And Alternativo was produced by Listen to this. Alexander Castillo. Do you know who Alexander Castillo is?
No, but you're gonna
Shakira's
tell me.
producer.
Oh shoot!
Word.
Damn.
All of Shakira's hits in the last 10 years, Alex Castillo, AC. Shout outs to AC from Montreal. First production he ever did was for Visionario y Adriel.
Damn. I didn't know that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive.
Yeah, bro. I remember he showed up at the Tito el Bambino Fest in Montreal, the Merengue Fest, with his dad. His dad showed up, not him. His dad showed up in our, in backstage, and his dad's like, hey, listen, I got a son. He wants to get into production. Do you think you can help him out? He was a little kid, 14 years old. Incredible production. Incredible production. And then when I heard it, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then he produced all of Alternativo, everything. And then he just went, and now he's out of here. Now he doesn't even remember my name, bro.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
I don't even know, bro.
Do you have his number or is it a different number probably?
Probably a different number, bro. I don't even try, brother. I don't even try.
Man? You never know.
I don't even try, brother. I just let it be.
Okay, Mr. Max. Okay, so listen, I'm gonna ask you another question, and then Mario, if you have one, you can get it ready. But let's go a little bit, I guess, to your youth. How was your upbringing? What are things that you remember? When you were younger, obviously before the music and stuff. But yeah, just what are the things that I guess were meaningful or impactful to you when you were younger?
I mean, I thank God that I grew up in a great family. Great family. My father is the pinnacle of what a dad should be. My mother is, anybody that knows my mom, she becomes the mom of el vecindario, of
Everyone.
the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She is the mom of everybody. My brother and my sister. I grew up in a great family. I would say that I did grow up in a lot of turmoil spiritually, internally. I always had that internal battle of what is right, what is wrong? Am I letting God down? Am I not? Am I gonna be punished for this? Am I not? I grew up in a lot of that, and that happens to a lot of people that grow up in church. And especially in my case, because I grew up with such what I believe was a revelation from God that I was gonna, from a young age, from 12 years old, I remember something telling me, it's gonna be different for you, bro. You're not gonna be accepted by a lot of people within the church, but just know I got you. And because of that, I remember the first time I sang at church a rap song. It was this song by a group named DC Reto, which was huge back in the day. And they had a song that was number one in Latin America as a Christian artist. It went, Dime quién vive, salta para arriba.
Yes,
Dime
I
quién
remember
vive.
this. Wow, what a throwback.
Bro, I sang that song in church, and I remember I would hear murmurs in the background, people talking esa música del diablo. How dare you? No. 12 years old, bro. And I remember I was heartbroken. I remember going home that night and crying in the bathroom. Crying my eyes out and being I don't understand. Looking up at the sky and being God, I don't understand. This is what you told me I'm supposed to be doing. And just remember hearing a voice say, I told you were going to be different. It's okay. If they criticize my son, they're going to criticize you. So growing up in that, it was a lot of turmoil. It was a lot of I guess internal battle, I think even to this day, I still struggle with it a little bit more. I mean, a little bit less, but I still struggle with it sometimes. But honestly, as you grow up, you just realize, bro, all that matters is what my wife, my family, and what God thinks about me. Everything else, I could do without, But yeah, that was my upbringing, man. That was my upbringing. Like every other teen, I mean, I was, Playboy, Ricky Martin. Yeah, without the Ricky Martin.
Pause.
Rewind is doing it.
Pause that. But I was a pretty popular guy.
pretty
You
popular.
know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie. I tell my wife all the time. I had a great childhood. I had a great youth. Apart from the whole spiritual turmoil that I had,
Mhm.
I think it was a great upbringing.
Awesome. Mario, go ahead.
You know, something that just came to mind right now that it was a blip in history. You started out rapping with JP.
JP, hold on. No, I started rapping with Dandara, and then it was JP.
I don't think I remember that era, but I remember JP like that. I just remembered right now.
So JP was after. No, yeah, JP was before Visionario y Adriel.
Right.
It was before Visionario, so it was JP, and then it was Adriel.
Wow. Shout out to Juan Pablo, man.
Yeah, but before that, it was Dandara, which to me, Dandara was Vico C of like our era. Like that,
I can't remember that.
his name was Moises. I took out a mixtape where I would remix like secular songs. Like I remember I remixed In the Ghetto by Akon.
Oh yeah, I love that version that you did of that.
Right? So
Yeah,
that was the mixtape. That was the mixtape with Dandara.
Wow, I
You know,
can't
and I
put a
did the
face
I
to
did
this
the
person.
I did the remix to Juicy. Era todo un sueño
Oh,
hasta
yeah.
que Dios se hizo dueño de
What
mi
was the name
vida.
of that mixtape?
Man, it was so long ago.
I think I still have that CD somewhere in one of
Algo
my
del
CD binders.
territorio del enemigo. Arrebatando el territorio del enemigo. That's what it was called.
What happened with that situation with JP? Was it him that walked away? That like it was
Bro, it was so long ago. I could honestly tell you I have no idea. I think more than anything, he just became more into the professional world.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I kept going with my with my crazy intuitions and like dreams of being a musician. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I remember we went to the same church during the time where Visionario y Adriel was coming up.
Yeah.
It was really cool seeing that. At that point I had never seen a DJ in person, and also seeing that a DJ set on the pulpit. A lot of people could not. You really broke some barriers with what you were doing, because I had never seen a DJ set on a pulpit. I had never seen club lights in a church, but we were doing this, and our church got criticized heavily for it. But they love the youth.
And you know, it's crazy because my wife will tell you the story that they just happened, bro, years before I met my wife. Years. She was 14 and she ended up at that concert. And she was there with her brother.
Shout out to Jess.
Yeah, and then people were like pulling them apart and be like, "Hey, no grinding in the church. No grinding in the church." Listen to this. That's one thing I will pride, you know, like Visionario y Adriel on. We did that concert in 4545 Jane Street in a church as a reggaeton Christian band. Over 900 people in attendance as a Christian band. You know what I mean? And for me, like, to this day, I look at it and I'm like, wow, like the amount of things we did, right? But again, like it doesn't come without a cost, right? Like it doesn't come without a cost of, like, you know what? We were exactly what you said. Like, we were criticized about it. You know, how dare, you know, they do this here and all that stuff. But even back then, that's why I consider Pastor Moses like my pastor, because he understood the purpose, he understood the mission, and he was like, go for it, you know, go for it. So shout out to Pastor Moses for sure.
Have you do you think you'll ever record another Christian album or music?
I have Christian music written. I have a whole album written. Would I release it? My way of thinking has changed a lot. That's maybe another conversation, because what is considered Christian music? And I'll put it this way. Is Christian music the lyrics, Or is Christian music the person that wrote the lyrics?
In my opinion, I think if we were to be very straight up when it comes to lyrical content, it has to lead to salvation. I think the lyrical content, yes, we can have positive lyrics where, you know, you can throw in a Bible story, you know, as a metaphor maybe. But I think Christian lyrics, I think worship music would be a better term, right? Or gospel reggaeton, for example, because if you're saying gospel reggaeton, what is the word gospel? It's preaching the good news, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that the artist could be Christian making positive music, but I think Christian music is music that literally leads you to salvation. Like T-Bone is an example, right? Where this guy was a gangster. You know, he was like, in my opinion, T-Bone was like a Cypress Hill level rapper.
Yeah.
But he actually spoke about salvation in his music. I think I was showing you, Jonah, his music the other day, and he spoke like very bluntly about salvation in his music. But then there are others that Lecrae blurs the lines a little, right? So it's hard to tell if he's a Christian sometimes, especially with the stories that he tells on his podcast at times, right? So it's hard, but it's at the same time, when you grew up, I think, in the environment, I think it's a little easier to be able to be like, yeah, sounds genuine. Or, you know, you with today's world, podcasting, Instagram, you can kind of see how people live, who they interact with, you know?
Yeah. And the reason why I say that is, for example, like exactly what you said, like Lecrae's a perfect example, right? Like, yeah, he may blur the lines sometimes, you know what I mean? But, and then you brought up T-Bone as well. And the way I look at it is like, nowadays, I can prompt my AI to write me a song about worship that can lead you to God. You know what I mean? I can put it in Suno and it's going to be a song that's going to lead you to salvation. Is that Christian music?
I would say the music and the message, yes. But there's a lot of people that I think we have seen fall from grace, you know, that were quote unquote Christian artists, you know, especially in the Latin community. Like, there's some worship artists, like for me, one example is Danilo Montero is somebody that, you know, we all grew up listening to. He came to our church a few times, you know, sang, and now he's the lead pastor of the Latin service in Joel Osteen's church, and I'm very conflicted about that, right? Because it's like, it's who he's aligned with. Who are you aligned with, especially if you're a public figure like that, right? And I personally, I think that's a little bit of a sellout move that he did. So I don't really see him the same way that I did before as a Christian artist.
But then again, that goes down to that conversation, right? Like, and the point I'm trying to make is, something I've learned is, when you grow up as I guess in faith, you're taught it's black or white. But as you grow spiritually, you understand that there are shades of gray.
That's right.
There are shades of gray, right? Perfect example is Arcángel. You can say that last song that he took out where he says yo le dije un pastor and everything like that. Like, you can say like, yo, that song like hit me. Or Vico C, when he came out with, you know, with that song with Funky, you'd be like, yo, that song ministered me. But homie was down.
Yeah, man was like still doing heroin.
You know what I mean? So then that's going back to your question, what is considered Christian music? To me, there is no such thing as Christian music. There is worship music. There is music that is meant for you to worship God. You know what I mean? And there's music to that's like poetry. That is for society. That is for community. That is to bring you closer to your spouse. That is to bring you closer to your loved ones, etc., etc. So I have a whole worship, you know, album done. Would I release it nowadays? Maybe someday, but at this point, like, it's not a priority, just because I feel like there's so much good worship music out there that I don't think you need you need my music right now. So
you never know, it might be the time that we really do need some visionero in the airwaves.
Maybe, who knows.
Before we continue, I just want to give everybody that's in the chat a shout out. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe right now. Drop a like. Share this with somebody right now, because this is a conversation that will touch somebody, hopefully. in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. To continue, I don't know what time is it now. 7:47. Okay. So music aside, are you an introvert or extrovert?
I'm definitely an introvert. Definitely. I will take staying at home all day. I'll go out if I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you, let me answer this better. I think you change according to the season in your life. Because if you would have asked me when I was in college, I'm an extrovert. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy being with people and everything like that. After college, I became more of an introvert. It depends on the seasons of life, bro.
Yeah,
It really does.
Okay. What's the weirdest talent you have?
I don't know if I still do. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I have
think-
I
I think- hold on, I
have
think I
this
know
thing
what
where
that is.
I like beatbox, but like my eye is like the DJ, but I don't know if it works right now. I don't know if you can hear it.
Get the mic closer.
No, you can't
No,
hear it
it's
right
not
I
now.
could hear it.
But I think that's the weirdest talent I have. That's
Okay.
always been the weirdest. In high school, I'd be like, Be like, yeah, it was super weird, bro.
Okay. So listen, we're gonna change it up a little bit. Like I did well, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the beginning of the show, but there's a couple of things that I was part of in your life. One of them being part of your wedding, and we worked at UPS together for a couple of years, and that's where I got much closer with Max. And I remember around those times, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this was a couple of years ago, many years ago. You were going through a very hard time around that time. You were being pulled in different directions, and this was obviously before everything happened with Alx Veliz. But I don't know if you want to touch upon, I guess, some of the things that you were going through before the whole music thing took off. But I remember we had some very deep conversations while at work, freezing cold, in the skid yard. No, yard. What was it called again?
Yeah, I think it was called the skid yard.
Skid yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much I was a shifter, and he used to do. What was your position again?
Bro, I don't know, bro. I have no idea. All I did was I had to show up and like move skids outside of a truck and.
Yeah, so he some of those times that I was working with him, we had to clean out the trailers, the 53-foot trailers, for customers that were renting the trailers out, right? And mind you, this is UPS, so. We had some pretty cool conversations there, and just to fast forward to the whole music part. But I remember, again, like all of us, there's times that we believe in something and we give it our all, and for so many years, and sometimes it doesn't happen the way we want it to, or I guess as quick as we want it to. And there was a specific moment where, you said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for too long. And I remember we set up a last-minute dinner at Moxie's, where your sister was working. It was me, Andres Ramirez, Toma, and Nico.
Yeah.
I don't remember how old you were again. It was a long time ago when I had more hair, if you could tell. But I remember we went there and we had our food and stuff, and we had a couple of shots, and we paid the bill and we left, and I remember vividly we literally surrounded you in a circle.
Yeah.
We surrounded you in a circle, and with this, we're going to segue a little bit into the whole, how everything took off. But we literally surrounded you in a circle, and this is, again, guys, for those that have not been on the show before or those that have been on the show, this is why I keep repeating. It's so important to have the right people around you.
100%.
Right? It's so important because in moments of despair, in moments like the situation that Max was in at that moment, sometimes it takes a little push, and sometimes it takes a little reminder, from those people around you that you have a purpose, right? And there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing, and there's a reason why you should not give up, And I remember we gave you that speech, and we told you, Max, you're not giving up. You're not giving up. You have the gift, you have the talent, and you're going to make it, and something's going to happen. And long and behold, less than a year later, you got signed to Universal, and with the help of Mr. Merilandia, which I hope to have on the show as well, you guys came up with Dancing Kizomba. So before we talk about Dancing Kizomba, just let everybody know, like, how was that process? Where were you when you got the phone call? What was it that sparked their attention?
Oh man. So honestly, that's like a whole. It goes deep, bro. It goes way deep, because what happened. it's God orchestrated.
Mhm.
That's the best way I can describe it. And the reason why I say that is because when I was Visionero y Adriel and we were touring in Miami, like I said, we were opening up for Funky and all these big Christian artists. In one of those performances, we met this guy named Lex Borrero, which was a Colombian.
Yeah, shout out to Lex.
Yeah. So I remember I was 19 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got off stage, he said, yo, I would really love to manage you guys. And I said, who have you managed? And he said, you would be like one of my first guys. And I said, oh, I basically had other people around me that they basically said, cool off.
Yeah.
So I didn't go with him. And years passed and he became one of the biggest A&Rs, the biggest managers of songwriters and producers out there. They produced Kesha, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Like they produced like Maroon 5, Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. Like so many hits. And it just so happened that after that conversation we had, maybe like, I want to say like maybe a month after, I saw that he was in Toronto on my Instagram. And I reached out to him like, yo, I see that you're in Toronto. We should hang out. No. And we ended up speaking. We ended up rekindling the friendship. And in one of those conversations, he said, yo, are you still doing music? And I said, yeah, as a hobby now, and all that stuff. And I showed him. He asked me like, oh, let me hear some of your stuff. And I showed him Dancing Kizomba and all this stuff. And he told me, he's like, yo, you're supposed to be an artist, bro. Like this. Take into mind, like this was after our conversation and everything, right? And I told him like, because at that point, like you have heard everything. I had been offered Tito el Bambino, you know what I mean? Like I was in Colombia touring with the guy, you know what I mean? Like I had offers. I had offers, and nothing fell through ever. So at that point, you've heard everything, and you just get to a point where you're like, yeah, forget it. But at that point I told him like, oh, what are you doing here anyways? He's like, well, I got hired to be one of the head A&Rs of like Universal Music, and I'm supposed to develop international acts, people that can sing in 2 languages. And I think you're exactly what they're looking for. And not even a month later, I was signed with Universal. I was signed with Disney. I was signed with Island Def Jam. I was signed with Universal Latino. We took out Dancing Kizomba, 7 million streams in 1 week. That was unheard of. This was before the Despacitos. This was before Justin Bieber Sorry. You know what I mean? This was before the whole Mombaton movement, reggaeton, and Anglo meets Spanish, any of that. And why I say it was God orchestrated was because I'll never forget, AJ Callejero was one of the guys that I remember. He had come to Toronto because Toma Nico P had brought him like to DJ at their clubs. And in one of those trips, I asked him if he could like manage me. And he said, oh, I can't, I got a few opportunities coming up. No. Fast forward, when I got signed and all that stuff, I sent him Dancing Kizomba. And it just so happened that he got hired to Spotify as one of the curators for the Latin side. And he said, yo, one of the first songs I'm going to pitch is Dancing Kizomba. And he pitched it, and poof, it went out of here. So that's what I'm saying. It was all God orchestrated, because that's the only way I can describe it, man. Like it was like, there's no other way I can say like, hey, like I can't say, oh yeah, I did this, or how else can you describe that story? You know what I mean? But yeah.
Just for a little context, I remember AJ Callejero came to Toronto last year for a panel, right? And he was talking about his time at Spotify. And he was mentioning that he put Bad Bunny on one of his playlists and
went out of there.
Like AJ Callejero is, shout out, Salvadoran.
Yo, listen. This is off thing. Pero me estoy orinando. I have to take a pee break. I've been holding it for a bit.
It's okay.
No
It's okay.
You guys will talk for a bit.
Let's
No
talk,
problem.
Jordan.
I'll be right back. It's so unprofessional, but I'm sorry.
Hey, man, this is what podcasting is all about.
And
The
it's live.
nitty gritty is raw.
It's live. Hold on, guys. Hold on. That's what
It's
happens when it's
raw.
live. It's beautiful. Hold on. Hurry up. Wash your hands. Shout out to the chat. If you guys need the washroom, go for it. It's okay. Take advantage. You got a couple minutes. Mr. Mario, how are you?
Not too bad, my man.
You good?
Yeah, I feel absolutely great today. just a lot of positive things going on in my life right now. You know, I cannot complain. Some breakthroughs have been happening.
Yeah.
You know, and for anybody listening right now, everybody who's watching, you don't have to be religious, honestly, to believe in God. God is our creator, you know, and sometimes I've come around a lot of people that are so non-believing in God, and it's just like, you know what? I understand we all carry some hurt, especially if you grew up in church. We carry some church hurt, but God didn't hurt you. People did, you know, and as I've embraced God during some of the craziest storms that I've been facing, my goodness, just seeing the hand of God working in my life,
man,
you know, being here with you, bro, it's been a blessing because, you know, as I've been asking God for direction, you know, I've been into content creation for a while. I've been doing my own thing, Revelations TV on YouTube. Please go subscribe, check it out. Please search it in your YouTube, or you can go on my Instagram, DJ Revelations, and you can see the stuff that I'm doing. And I also have the links to my podcast, Instagram, and stuff on there. And as Max was saying, I'm a little bit conflicted at times because, you know, I am working at a radio show where 99.9% of the artists are secular artists.
Yep.
Right? That are doing their thing, that have lyrics that, you know, the church would not be fond of.
Yep.
You know, and I remember speaking to somebody, a clergy member, and they were saying, oh, you're going to have to walk away from that. You know, you're going to have to walk away from that to just continue serving God. And I don't think you really need to do that. I think you are able to serve God while you also have a foot in the secular world, and at some capacity. You don't have to be a part of what everybody else is doing, but you can be the light. We are called to be salt, you know, in the world, right? So you can be salt in the secular spaces, you know, of entertainment and beyond, you know, corporate America.
Of course.
Did you wash your hands, bro?
Twice, bro.
Okay.
You better, because you're touching my microphones. I have people coming later on tomorrow, so. But anyways, yeah, Mira, you were saying so we could.
Yeah, just people just seek God. You know, do whatever you can. If you're dealing with your things, please take some time. You can reach out to Jonah. You can reach out to myself. You can DM us if you want to pray, if you want to talk. That's who we are. You know, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes.
Oh yeah, and to add to what he was saying too, again, for those that have been following from the first season, and for those that know me, there's been a very, very, very drastic change in my life, and it's because. Again, life gets difficult. You know, you have a lot of hurdles, a lot of things that pop up in your life, and sometimes, you know, you start steering the wrong way. And I definitely was, being someone in the music industry since I was a little kid. I'm 36 now, and you know, there's a lot of distraction in this music industry, and I could honestly say, you know, a lot of the drinking during the weekend, the drinking and the driving, the sleeping around, the not eating healthy. And I could say, you know, the moment everything was just at the peak, I guess, I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm like, you know what, God, you gotta take over. And it's changed my life completely. And I'm still on that path. You know, I'm still, it's been almost a little bit under 3 years. And this is, again, like I said before, this is another reason why I added Mario onto the show. Because in the short period of time that I've known him, you know, he's become like a brother to me, and someone, a brother of Christ as well. And someone that, I respect, you know, someone who's very knowledgeable about the word, and someone that I trust. And again, going back to, like I was saying to Max, and like I've said many times in the show already, your surrounding is very important, you know, during the highs, especially during the lows, because during the lows, you know, you need to have that friend that comes and tells you, hey, Jonah, cuidado, hey, be careful. And you know, not everyone is in your life for the right intentions. And you know, Mario, again, I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful, besides the podcast, I'm grateful that you're in my life. And everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the right time. And, you know, obviously, we've had specific conversations in the past and stuff in private. And, you know, I've told you, you know, God is showing up for me in so many ways that I can't even talk about. Like, there's so many different ways that, like, we could stand here and be here all night, you know. And recently he showed up again, and I'll tell you guys just a little bit. I'll open up more about it later on. But I got some news about a family member, and it was very difficult for me to hear, because it's somebody that means the most, you know, it's the most important person, one of the most important people in my life. And I was literally in the back of an Uber. And mind you, this is just one of the stories and one of the times that he's shown up. And literally, I'm in the back of the Uber, crying in my sweater, and I'm literally crying in there, and I'm praying, and I'm giving I'm giving thanks, but obviously asking for strength and to help this individual. And literally, I stick my head out of my sweater, and mind you, I'm on the highway, and I look to the window, and the first thing that pops up, big letters, Hope, Christ, and a big ass cross. And this is not the first time it's happened. It's happened multiple times, and literally, I saw that, and I looked up, and I'm like, man, you show up at the right time. And literally a couple days ago, and even at the church that I go with you on Wednesdays, I did speak to pastor, and I told him what was happening, and he prayed as well. And a couple days ago, we got the news that everything is good, everything's in the clear, and yeah. So I just want to let you guys know. I'll talk more about that another time, but yeah, man. So back to the show.
God is great.
Amen.
Love it.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about your time meeting Lex Borrero,
Yes.
Dancing Kizomba.
Yeah, man. And yeah, I just
How did it feel?
it was surreal at that moment. I always say that like what we were saying before the cameras were on, that I feel like my life is a Netflix movie, because it's literally like episode after episode. Because even in those moments, so a little let me rewind a little bit. Before I got signed, I remember specifically at that point I was married. God already like healed my heart in certain areas. So I got married, got a great job. I remember being in the elevator, going down the elevator, and I remember saying this prayer, like happy, bro, happy out of my mind. I said, God, thank you for the blessings you've given me. If the music thing never happens, I'm good. I'm happy. And less than a month, everything changed for me. Boom, 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 boom. But even when it changed, it was as if like I had all these tests, what we were talking about before the cameras went on, where it's like the enemy says, here's your world. You know what I mean? Like you can domain over it. The Dancing Kizomba video that's out was not the first video that was recorded. The first video that was recorded was like 40 grand. And I remember we showed up to set. Before I signed, I remember telling certain people in my group, in my management group, guys, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. I'm not going to be one of those reggaetoneros that's going to be like booty popping, drugs, sex, alcohol. That's not me. So whatever. We show up. And I said before the video, I said, guys, just make sure everything is decent. No. We show up to the video set. Booties. Everywhere. Tangas. Everywhere. It was crazy.
Puro sandunguero.
Tú sabes. A la mec. And bro, we were there. I remember my wife and I, we both brought it up to certain executives there. And they were like, don't worry, all of that gets taken care of in editing. We get to the editing. Booties, tangas, everywhere. And I remember when I saw the final edit, I went into the room with the certain executives. And I said, guys, if this video comes out tomorrow, you can take your contract and everything. I'm out. And I remember people freaked out because they're like, what are you talking about? People dream of being in this moment where you're at. Like, they spend their whole life getting here. And I said, I'm not everybody. I was sent here for a purpose. I'm telling you, if that video comes out, you can take your contract. I'm out. That's how I left. I remember that was a Friday. I remember picking up my wife. We took a trip to Kingston. I cried on my way down to Kingston, praying, be like, God, why did you put me in here? Like I felt like David and Goliath. I'm like, yo, I'm David here. I can't win against these people. Like, what, like, what am I doing here? No. We're there. We get a call. Alex, we showed the video to the other execs. They said this has nothing to do with the song. They're going to scrap the video.
Wow.
Don't believe it, but okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the other part that I forgot to say. When I left that room, when I saw that video edit, I told them, I'm like, guys, you can take the contract if this video comes out, but I'm letting you know right now, because I was placed here, this video is not going to come out. And I left. So when I got that call, I'm like, I felt like Kanye West. I'm here for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for a reason, you know? And then we had to record the video again. And I've had multiple tests along the way like that. I remember another time we were getting hustled by the label like crazy. And I remember I had people on my team tell me, yo, listen, we're about to do this tour. It's cash, bro. Just take the cash. You don't have to tell the label that you made this money. Just take the cash. You don't have to claim it. The label doesn't have to know. You can screw them over the way they've been screwing you over. And I remember getting off the phone. And I'm like, yo, I should take this money. I should. But, you know, I had the conversation with the wifey and everything. And we just looked at it and we're like, you know what? No, we got to do things right. If we're here for a reason. And I remember calling back and be like, no, you know what? Just let it go. God will take care of it. Everything like that. And that person that was telling me was an atheist. Well, he is an atheist. I don't know if he's an atheist anymore or not. But I remember him telling me, it's like, wow, that's how deep your faith runs, huh? And I was like, yeah, man. A third story I'll tell you. We were at Univision. We're recording the New Year's. It's the same executive that's by my side. The same person that's by my side. That had told me about, like, yo, just take the money. Don't tell the label. And at that point, he got the memo. Like, yo, there is no shaking this guy's foundations. We get to Universal to Univision for the New Year's performance. That's probably online. And we show up. All of a sudden, we have backup dancers. Booty and tangas. Because everybody else was there with booty and tangas. And I'm like, I look at him like, yo, who are they for? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, they're not for me. And then he goes to ask the people running the production. He's like this. He's like, are these girls for Alx Veliz? He's like, yeah. Get them some more clothes. Alex does not degrade women like that. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, bro, church people could tell me what they want to tell me. You know what I mean? People behind four walls of the church can tell me what they want to tell me. But brother, my fruits will speak louder. The amount of people I have been sitting in rooms with that are songwriters for the biggest artists have all told me, I started off in the Christian church, but they broke my heart. That's why I'm here right now. And I've had to tell them, I'm sorry on behalf of the church. One of the biggest promoters here for, I don't want to say names, but the biggest artists in the world that you can think of right now. They're the biggest radio promoters behind them. And I asked them while I'm on tour for the Dancing Kizomba song. And I asked them, I'm like, hey, how did you start? I actually started as a Christian label. And I'm like, really? Yeah, my whole goal was I wanted to promote Christian artists on the secular world. But people didn't understand that vision and the church closed their doors on me. And I remember going to him like, yo, I'm sorry on behalf of the church. I was with my brother-in-law, so he can attest to this. And we were walking back to the hotel and we just had that conversation. And he just says, bro, I just feel like I've strayed too far away from God that he cannot forgive me. Bro, we went into the hotel room, had prayers with him. Life changed. So at the end, again, like I said, people can tell me within the four walls of the church, what are you doing? Not singing quote unquote Christian music. Bro, it has nothing to do with the music. It has to do with who you are. It has to do with the fact that I've been married to my wife for more than 10 years and I have not fallen once when I've toured with the biggest women and I've been surrounded by everything. You know what I mean? And it's like, they can say whatever they want, but I've had so much heartbreak in this industry. And my faith has not shaken. Inside the industry, outside the industry. You know what I mean? I think if people were to know deep down inside the things that I've gone through, and for me to still be standing on faith and saying, Jesus Christ is my Lord, I think at that point they'll be like, damn, that speaks louder than any music. That speaks louder than any of that stuff. So that's why at this point, I could care less, bro. I could write about whatever I want. I could sing about whatever I want. As long as I know that God respects what I'm writing and he knows where my heart is. My wife says the same thing. Max, I know where your heart is. Jackson knows where your heart is. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, people can say what they want. It is what it is.
Yep.
Don't make me preach up in here.
Hey, praise God, man. Hey, if that's where this is going, the world needs to know these stories, you know? Like, thank you so much for sharing that, because all these artists that are on the come up right now in Canada, your producer for Dancing Kizomba, he's like one of the people spearheading, right, the movement, right? He's been on Latin Beats TO with William Dinero. Back in September, we did an event. A lot of Latin artists got together, came from Montreal as well. And just seeing the new generation of artists that are developing, it's almost like we're just repeating the cycle again. And for the most part, it's like I know you at a personal level where you have Christian values, and not just Christian values per se, but you have good morals, period. And you didn't compromise. And a lot of people think that selling your soul is more of pentagram on the floor and doing a ritual, but people don't realize it's like compromising your values little by little with things that a lot of people in your position would have been like, you know what, I'm not going to blow this. I'll do this one time. And then that one time becomes another time and another time, until how far are you going to go? Right? I look at stories like Don Omar, where he was a youth pastor when he started. Right? And it's like, it starts little by little with that compromise. And then you hear Don Omar, you know, getting arrested with blickies. Can't say this on YouTube, but he had blickies and he got arrested. It's like, dude, you were a youth pastor. Can you imagine what that must have done to the people that were around him at that time? And just a lot of people need to hear that most people grow up in a Catholic or Christian or God believing home that are artists trying to become the next level. And it's like, what would you say to them?
It all comes down to identity. Now that we're going into this topic, but it all comes down to identity, and this is the sad reality that we live in. For me, whether I'm Alx Veliz or I'm not, I'm a son of God. So you could take away accolades, you can take away everything, brother. I'm a son of God. Anything I do will be successful. Anything I do, I will be successful, because God's got my back. So I don't put my identity in like, oh, if I don't have 100 views, if I don't have 100 followers, if I don't have 100 streams, then I'm nothing. Bro, you can take that. That's why it's been years that I haven't released music, because all of these artists is like, yo, I gotta be trending, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. For me, I'm like, brother, my music doesn't speak for me. God speaks for me. At the end of the day, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So I always tell people, it's like, bro, it's about who you are. Find out who you are, be joyful in who you are, not what you do, because tomorrow you can lose your voice. Tomorrow you can lose your hands. You can't produce anymore. You never know. And the problem is, and that's what we see in a lot of these artists, is that as soon as they decline, that's when they start falling into these dark things. That's when they start falling into these, behind closed doors deals and certain things that like break them, because they don't have identity. They don't know who they are. Where they put their identity in what they do, not who they are. And I think that's what's molded me ultimately.
A lot of people think that what they see on television or what they see these artists do, like, I never imagined that Latin music would become what it's become, like with Anuel or Bad Bunny promoting certain symbology or imagery. Like, Anuel has a very dark music video with Gucci Gang. What's his name? Gucci Gang. Lil Pump. Do you know which music video I'm talking about? The Illuminati music video?
No.
It's like it's horrific, like what they're promoting in this music video, and the lyrics that Anuel is saying. A lot of people think that these are theatrics, right? I don't know how deep you got into the industry, what you could have possibly seen, But do you think these are just theatrics, or is this real? What these people are promoting?
Think, no, I in those cases I think it is theatrics. I will tell you that. I've seen a lot of things, things that I can't say. Some things are theatrics because they know it would sell.
Right.
But does that exist? Yes, it definitely exists. Those things definitely exist. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say it's theatrics and that thing is because realistically is like no one's paying attention to that level, that type of level of it. When you have to force it like that, it's gonna be more subliminal, if anything. When you see it's more subliminal, then at that point it's like, oh, okay. But when it's in your face, it's like, no, you're pushing it. You're trying you're trying to get some sponsorships. You know what I mean? You're trying to get there. But yeah, again, it ultimately just comes down to identity, man. Like, know who you are, you know, because ultimately, like, if we go down to like that rabbit hole, it's like Puerto Rico is heavily Christian, it's heavily Catholic, you know, es principio de Dios. So ultimately, they all know it. They all know what it is. You know what I mean? And you can't deny it. The amount of torture those people must go through on a nightly basis, knowing the truth and knowing that they're living a lie, that itself is living in hell.
Yeah, I agree with you. And thank you for that insight.
Damn, you guys got... That's why you don't give me wine, bro.
Is there more wine? I'm checking. Is there more wine? Anyways, listen, we have a chat. We have a question in the chat from Jessie. She's a big fan of your music, and she asked, how did Lléname de tus besos song come to be, and what inspired you to write it? And she's still playing it till this day.
Really? Wow. Shout out, because that's old school too. Lléname de tus besos actually came about with Medi.
Could I post that right now? Like, it won't get flagged, right?
Nah, I won't get flagged. No.
Sure.
I'm pretty...
Is it on there?
I'm like 90%, 95% sure it won't get flagged.
It's not in there, right? Is it on Spotify? No.
Nah, it's not on Spotify.
Sorry.
But that song came about actually a little after our conversation, because I remember our conversation. I told you guys, I'm like, yo, listen, if you guys want me to get back into music, you guys got to put some skin in the game, basically. I said, I'm like, yo, I need a studio. I need a producer. I need this. I need that.
And it happened.
Because then, again, godly orchestrated. It just so happened. I remember, I think it was Nico that asked me. Somebody asked me, okay, so who would be the producer you'd want to work with? And at that point, I had already worked with producers in Montreal. Like I said, Alex Castillo, Demente, other people. And there was this kid named Medi that everybody told me about. And I remember at that point, I was a little cocky kid. And I'm like, yo, the only producer that can touch me in this game is this guy named Medi in Montreal. And I'm like, so if you guys get me Medi in a studio, then we're good. And then it just so happens that when we call Medi, Nico calls Medi, I believe it was. And Medi said, yo, coincidentally, I just came here 2 weeks ago and I'm planning on moving here. And then we got in the studio together and we did Lléname tus besos. Mm-hmm. And then Lléname tus besos was one of the first songs we did together.
Highway 7 and what stream?
Nah, bro, that was before. That was on St. Clair.
Oh, downstairs. Where you guys filmed the series, remember?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The series, bro. Yeah.
Oh, is that series online? It's still online, but I don't remember the name of the...
Good.
Oh, you're so lucky. I was gonna post it. It was really well done. It was beautiful.
That's one of my downfalls, because I accept that. I do believe that God gives me a lot of vision for futuristic things. Mm-hmm. Think about it. If we would have continued on the reality show.
Oh yeah.
This was before the boom of reality shows, bro.
Yep. And it was it was a full out like argument and talking about production.
It was a full reality show.
Beautiful. Really well done. But
it was just too much for me to take on. I was editing. I was doing it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I feel like God always gives me ideas, but I can't capitalize on it. I feel like it's too much for me. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I end up looking for teams and everything. But then I always end up being like, oh man, okay, I just got to do this by myself because it's not on time. And then, it's just a circle of life, bro.
Yeah. So going back to that question, sorry, what inspired you to write that song?
Lléname tus besos.
How does it go again? I know it, but I don't remember it.
All I remember is the chord, Lléname de tus besos.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
Que me hace falta tu calor. I think I like writing not only for myself but for, you know, communities, for what I feel people are going through. And I think that's something that everybody goes through. You know, it's like love for somebody else when you're like just infatuated with a person. You're like, yo, just give me them lips, girl.
Oh, we found it.
You found
Okay.
it.
I
There
found
you
the
go.
song. I found the song. So I'm gonna play the song. Hold on. Let me just do what I gotta do here. Wow, I'm so happy that I found it. Thank you, Jessie. Jessie, she was the one that said it right now. She's like, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Oh, snap. Who has it on YouTube?
La Baby Love Music.
Homegirl be getting those royalties.
En los cielos y en el mar. Mujer, los besos que tú me das, no hay con qué comparar. Si tan y quiero más, he venido en búsqueda de esos lindos labios, los que me ponen muy feliz.
I don't think I know this
Desde
song.
que probé de esos lindos labios, sin ellos no puedo vivir. Lléname de tus besos, que me hace falta tu calor. Lléname de tus besos, que me hace falta tu sabor. Lléname de eso, es que vivo.
Wow.
Anyways, good times.
That's Medilandia, right?
Yeah, that's Medi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
Medi's a
hear his
genius, bro.
hands in there.
Medi is a
He
genius.
has a sound.
I can't wait
Yeah,
to
he
have
has
him
a
on the
sound.
show. Oh,
He has a sound. He definitely has a sound.
Max.
Definitely. Yes.
Brother Max. You're a man that likes to make love songs, it seems.
Oh,
You're a man that seems that, you know, you wear your heart
Lover
on your
boy.
sleeve.
Mr. Lova.
And, you know, I could imagine that a lot of experiences in your music and, you know, without going into much detail, once upon a time, before you met your lovely wife, you were a man that was once engaged.
Yeah, man. I mean, it runs deep, bro. Like I said, lover boy. I've never been known to be single, bro.
Oh,
I think that's always been my problem.
El
Ever
Papichi.
since I was yeah, I've always been a lover boy. Like I don't remember any moment that I've been single for like more than a month. Like it's like I fall in love like quick and then I stay in love, you know? But yeah, I mean, before my wife, I was engaged. I was with the person for like 6 years. We were about to get married and everything. And you know, one thing led to another, and then it just didn't go through. And then from there, it was just, thankfully, because of that situation, it was because of that situation, I guess I don't want to say the heartbreak, but yeah, I guess man, it's so hard to talk about. Let's just say the heartbreak. The heartbreak led me to properly heal certain things that weren't healed before.
Right.
And it brought me to my now wife. You know, I think past relationships will show you what you did wrong so that you don't do it again, and what you did right so that you do it again. You know, it showed me all those things. It worked to my advantage, in the sense of like, yes, it was hard. I was broken for a while. I was like heartbroken, obviously.
Yeah, most of us would be after
Yeah,
something
of course.
like that.
Like six years, you know, and all that stuff. Like, I was heartbroken, but it did teach me, you know, like, I guess the difference between true love and infatuation. I think that's the biggest thing that it taught me.
I understand.
And what the Bible talks about when it's like ayuda idónea, like my wife is like the example of like
The Proverbs 31 woman.
bro, like to the point where it's like I am the worst with money. I have no idea how much money I have in my account. My wife is an accountant, like, you know, like in every way. So it again, like it worked to my advantage. Like yeah. So I mean,
Folks, drink responsibly.
We have another question in the chat. How do you feel about AI generated music artists creators?
ooh, this is a big one. That's a good question. Whoever asked that question, cheers to you.
This was Karen. She is the boss lady of the Brampton Latin Festival, which I'm going to call you after the show because I want to have you on the show next week.
Okay. So me personally, AI music. Remember how in the beginning of the interview I said I feel like I'm Quincy Jones. It's the same thing. Like I 100% transparent. Like my new stuff, I have been producing with AI because I feel like I'm like Quincy Jones. I literally go in and I say to the prompt. Let's put it this way. Quincy Jones, when he was making Thriller, he went into the room. Michael Jackson told him, "Hey, I want this, this, this." Quincy Jones says, "Okay, bass player, I want you to play this. Drummer, I want you to play this. You know, guitar, this, this, this." I go in with the prompts and I say, "Prompt, I need you to play me in the key of E flat. I need the drums to be, you know, a high tempo, 120 BPM, ta, 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 ta. I need it to do like this. I need it to be like this." And then it gives me the instrumental. But I go a little bit deeper because I produce before I put it into AI, right? Like I have la maqueta, like what we call the skeleton. So I have the skeleton, the chords, everything, and I put it into the AI. And then I say, now make it into this, 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 this. And I give it like 4 paragraphs of prompt and it gives me something. So for me, I think it's a benefit to artists if you know how to use it properly. I do think there should be a little bit of guardrails when it comes to AI artists, you know, like complete artists. I think there should be some guardrails. But again, this is the monster that the labels created themselves. This is what people have to understand.
Timbaland had a hand in that.
Bro, this is the monster they created themselves. And I'll tell you why. I remember maybe 5 years ago, not even 5 years ago, the labels stopped looking at talent and they started looking at numbers, followers, and influencers. So they would take, I remember specifically in Colombia, they would go to Colombia and be like, ¿Quién es el que está más pegado? Who has the most followers? Who has the most, you know, trending videos? Why don't we put him in the studio with the top songwriter and the top producer, let them put Melodyne and Autotune on them, and let them blast out music. And then stars started coming out. Boom, 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 boom. So what did AI, obviously, like technology saw? Hey, we can make anybody a star as long as they have followers, as long as they have influence. They can use these platforms. And now we're stuck in a position where now we got ahead of us and now there's no stopping it. So at least in my point of view is artists, take advantage of it as much as you can. But yeah, I do believe there should be some sort of guardrails.
Yeah, and at the same time, don't use it as a crutch either for people. You know, it's like, if that's all you can do, then and you're put in the room with, you know, professionals. Like, all right, do what you do, and then
people will tell real quick.
Mm-hmm.
People will tell real quick. Like they'll tell. You know what I mean? And God forbid you make a hit song and then they realize it's a prompt from AI. Your credibility's out of there, and you're never gonna get invited to any other session, right? So I think it's beneficial to the already existing songwriters and producers that know what to do, or artists that know what to do and have the capability of doing it. But to the general public, I think it's not something you should put all your eggs in that basket, for sure.
Yeah. You have a question for him? No? I could ask.
I got them all out of questions.
Yo, do you have a question for me? No, we have a couple, but it's just these are awesome conversations. I don't want to stop, but I want to change it up, but then I don't want to stop. Do you have a question for me?
Or you?
Yeah, whatever you want.
No, I mean, at what age did you realize you were so sexy?
Oh, damn.
Papichi.
Esas son mentiras del diablo porque tú no eres sexy. Deja ahí.
Anyways, I'm going to ask a question since that question doesn't, yeah. Let's talk about again, are you sure that I could play the next song? Marquesina.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay,
no one's gonna flag it.
I'm only asking because I don't want it to get flagged. Because if it gets flagged,
I was Mehdi and myself.
Okay, I'm gonna play it. If it gets flagged, then does it only get muted? That's part, or is it the whole thing that gets muted?
It could get just muted the one part, or they could decide to take on the whole video.
I want to play.
Okay, so just don't. I'll do.
No, I'm gonna play it. Anyways, this song right here that I'm about to play.
Or you would just have to take out that part and re-upload the video.
Okay. Anyways, this next song is a song that recently hit over 1 million streams, and it's still going up. It's called Marquesina. It's and this is literally by itself. This blew up by itself on Spotify. No label backing, nothing. Just literally no marketing behind it. Like very simple. Please check out the music video. It is on YouTube. Very, very beautiful music video. And I'm gonna play just a little snip of it. This again was done by Alex and Max Alex and Mr. Merilandia. Let's see if it works now. No, my internet's not working. Great. Yeah, it's not even working. So I don't know what's happening. It's a sign. I'm literally clicking.
So listen, and the story behind Marquesina, originally it was not Marquesina. It was Vacila, me fascina, como baila reggaeton de Don Chesina. Tírala, tra. And it had sampled Don Chesina. And homie didn't clear it.
Oh,
he said he was going to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the conversations for months and months, and he didn't clear it. And then from there, we just said, okay, fine. Then it's Marquesina. That's where originally that's what it's supposed to be, anyways. Musica.
Okay, so I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, again, let's just keep our fingers crossed that it doesn't get flagged. But beautiful song, and I guess just talk about finding out and how I guess it got to that point. But it's a beautiful song. It goes like this.
Yeah.
Suavesura, de donde salió ese bam bam que me pone Don Juan con limón ese tequila. Te quiero llevar pa' San Juan, pa' Italia, Milán.
Watch the drop. Crazy.
Sin pena, sin medida, que yo siempre ando en la mía y pa' eso están las millas. Vacila, me fascina, como baila reggaetón de Marquesina. Tírala.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
You hear the lyrics, though. You hear the lyrics.
Yeah.
Suavesura, de donde salió ese bambán que me pone Don Juan sin limón ese tequila. Bruh.
Bars.
Come on, bro. Bars on bars on bars, doggy. Come on, doggy. What do you think this is, man?
For those that don't know, he likes to do these voices. I haven't heard him in a long time. It's the best.
Toronto man's over here.
He is.
From time, dog. From time, we be dropping gems, dog.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about that song and how it came to be. And like, again, we briefly spoke about, how it took off and everything. And it has a lot to do with you tell the story.
No, I mean, honestly, we took out the song. We recorded the video. I don't think we put that much money in marketing at all. Like I don't think we did that much marketing. But then somebody in Zumba did the video. Like they did a choreography to it in Korea. And then they sent it to me. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then I got another video. And then another video. And then every week to this week, like every week, I get one video of another Zumba class in Russia, in Croatia, in Korea, in Japan, in Miami, in different places doing the choreography to Marquesina. And now I'm just waiting for Zumba to officially like pick it up, bro. Like,
let's do it.
Just do it. They did Dancing Kizomba, they did Rumors, and I'm like, yo, come on, we've worked together before. Now I have the proof, like, but yeah. So I mean, it just blew up on its own, man. Organic, right? Like, but again, it took time because I released. I don't know. I think that's 2023.
Yep, 2 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And now it started blowing up, and it's like, I mean, that's how the way music works now, right? Discovery. So
yeah. You can make a song 2 years ago, and then boom, all it takes is just that one little peak, and then it doesn't stop.
Yeah, congrats. Is that the one that you just recently announced that hit 1 million?
Yeah, that's the one that just hit 1 million.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that.
Yeah, for sure. And now I have the other one that's on that album. It's La Peor, that they're doing the same thing. Like they're doing like choreography. Zumba's doing choreography to that one too. So it's probably gonna
let me play that one.
Gonna hit it, hit up there too. I mean, shout out to the Zumba fams.
After this, I wanna ask you a question, man, from a previous interview where I heard you say something. So
hold on.
Hopefully, I don't forget.
You won't forget. Don't forget.
You can ask it because Jonah's looking for it. Oh, there it is. This is one of my favorite produced songs. This is all Mehdi. I did not produce anything on this song. This is all Mehdi, and I forgot what his name is, but he's the one that did Bad Bunny, Si Me Porto
Bonito?
Bonito. Which is the merengue track?
I don't know. Hold on.
No.
Anyways, that's another one that's doing its thing slowly but surely.
Después de la playa, the one that produced that did the piano Después de la playa, which is.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't know his name.
Oh yeah, I think no. That Mag is the producer. Oh yeah, but he's not credited on it. So it's the piano player from Dominican. Incredible piano player. So Mehdi contacted him to do the piano for that song, and he killed it.
Yeah, man. It's honestly like the music, especially your most recent stuff. You have an electronic, the music video is like an electronic song. I forgot the name of that one. Is that Rumors? Is that what that one's called?
No,
it's like TVs or something in the music video.
Oh, déjate llevar. Baby, lo bien que tú luces debajo de la luz. Even that right there, like I did a 360 music video.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we did a 360 music video on that one, and it I think that's one of my biggest frustrations, bro. I lose sleep. Literally, my confession to you guys, to my viewers, is I lose sleep asking God why. And I do not want this to come off cocky. I don't mean it to come off cocky. It's a sincere question that I have that I have for God at nights. I'm like, God, why do you give me so much creativity if I cannot like blow this up in the world
or something? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I get so many like ideas. It will be 3 a.m. and I will get ideas and I will like wake up and be like, I should write this down, but I'm too tired. You know those like limbo moments? And sometimes I'll wake up and I'll write it, and sometimes like, you know, like I'll get ideas like that. Like for example, I'm working on a new album, right? Exclusive here. I'm working on a new album. And my last album was called Pasaporte. And I was just talking to my wife one of these days. I'm like, yeah, I'm working on a new album and I'm going to call it Pasaporte Renovado. It's a deluxe album. How did I come up with that name? I have no idea, bro. Really it just literally, as I'm talking, it just boom, comes up. And I'm like, wow. And then I look and I'm like, yo, I have a whole album done. I have a whole album there done. It's ready to go. And I'm like, man, there's certain things that I'm like, okay, God, like just materialize this, like just, you know. So I think that's one of my biggest frustrations, and I feel like that's what a lot of the time I will personally say that I identify a lot with Kanye West. When a lot of people call him crazy, when a lot of people say like he's like, you know, like, oh, what the heck, this guy lost his mind, I identify with him a lot because I get it, bro. Like I get sometimes in the moment where I'm like, again, like there's moments in here where I feel Kanye's here. It's not a joke. I feel Kanye's here and Jesus is here, and I'm like, and sometimes I feel like saying, yo, like I'm the greatest, bro. Like do you understand what I've done to this game? And then on the other one is like, just like, yo, relax, brother, relax. You know, it's Jesus and Jess, both of them right here. They're right here.
JJ.
Just coming from that, Jesus on your shoulder. I remember you mentioned at an interview you want to be a pastor at some point.
Yo, listen to this, bro. This guy right here calls me randomly one day when I'm talking about that to somebody. I'm telling somebody, I'm like, yo, you know, yeah, like I'm torn. Like I feel like there's a part of me that feels like it's time to be like a pastor and like open up the church and do this thing. Then, and doesn't homie over here call me about like, hey, remember the conversation we had? They read about the. And I'm like, I literally felt like hanging up the phone and to be like, yo, don't, I mean, yes, I do feel, it's funny enough. When you called me and you asked me that, I was having that conversation. And then I want to say maybe like 2 weeks ago, I had an epiphany in church when I was sitting there and I was listening to the preaching and the preaching was more about like God's timing and everything. And it came down to, it was in the moment where I felt like I realized that God has placed so many instrumental men in my life where have impacted me. Like they have been like father figures. My dad, Pastor Moses, my previous pastor, Pastor Ivan, certain people that have implanted in me like certain things of like how to treat your wife, how to treat a family, how to treat your community, how to treat your family, like extended family. And in that moment, it was also like, if I was meant to be a pastor, God would have put me in that position by now. So I'm literally I got to the point where it's like, if God wants me to be there, when he wants me to be there, then it's there. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to push it away. But I'm also not going to force it like anything else I've done.
Right.
So that's what it is. Like, have I always felt like that's where I'm heading? Always. Since I was young. When? I have no idea.
I mean, it'll happen when if it aligns at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Amazing. So we've been doing this for an hour and 48 minutes, and
holy smokes, bro!
Good part.
Is this the longest podcast you've had so far?
No, Nico's been 2 hours and something.
Yeah,
but it makes sense. Obviously, again, for those that are still watching, thank you for tuning in for this hour and 49 minutes now. Obviously, I'm trying to keep it to an hour and 20, an hour and 30, but obviously want to have people like Max on the show and people like Nico, people that have been in my life for many years. It's difficult to stay on those tight time frames because it's just so much to talk. There's so much to talk about, and it's beautiful memories. It's things that why not? So
I would love for us to be able to get to a point where we can have a conversation about like, yo, what's happening in the world?
soon. Because listen, and I think I told Mary already. Well, I did tell you. Some people might like it, some might not, and it's okay. I want to have an episode, and we might do it on a Sunday, right? Where we have a couple of people on, and we want to talk about conspiracy theories. And I'm trying to get this very well-known person who has a very big following on a page to get him on the show. But yeah, man, it's not just gonna be stuff like this. I want to have a little bit of everything on here, right? But you have a question for Max or no? Or is there a question in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Again, thank you guys for people that are chatting. Wicked, thank you.
Probably one a little bit
thank
earlier.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. It's been a while since I have released music. I know I myself have had in the last 2 years some life-altering things that one day everybody would know, but they're not my stories to share. And that's why I kind of took a step back and just kind of focused on family and things that matter. But yeah, I got some new stuff coming out, and like I said, soon everybody will know. But I thank everybody that has been around and that has stayed around, and thank you for being along for the ride. Definitely.
When could we expect this wonderful new project?
Pasaporte renovado, Passport renewed, which is gonna be like a deluxe album. It has I think it's gonna have 10 new tracks. There's a lot of stuff happening. I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it. It hasn't materialized yet, but a lot of big stuff happening. And yeah, man. Yeah, just hopefully more of me. I know I'm the worst at social media. I am trying. I'm trying.
He is. He's horrible at it.
I'm trying, which is weird, right? Because it's like I'm a video editor and graphic designer. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, but again, I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying before, right? It's just it's not who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously it's needed sometimes in the music, but it's
No, and it ultimately comes down to like, yo, you put a camera in front of my face, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'll do it. But it's just like for me to go put the camera up and everything like that, it just feels disingenuous for me, you know. And that's the main hurdle I have to get over.
Yeah.
Who's your dream collaboration?
Bruno Mars, Major Lazer, J Balvin.
I actually got to meet Walshy Fire once.
No
that
way.
was actually really cool.
Oh yeah, bro. Major Lazer. It like again, it goes down to like it goes back to like the innovation, right? Like these guys are innovators. Like they 100%. Create sounds, right? Like I remember listening to Diplo, and he had a radio where he would like just do his DJ sets, and I would hear the mashups that he made, and I was like, yo, this is incredible. And so yeah, Major Lazer, Bruno Mars. There's this new girl named Sasha Keeble from Colombia, R&B artist. Incredible.
What's your favorite Vico C album?
Aquel que había muerto.
Yo, hands down.
Miren, guayo, aquel que había muerto de la tumba salió. That changed my life. That's the album that changed my life. I remember I was it was a church camp, a youth church camp. And then there was this one kid that I used to like admire. Like I was like, what? Maybe I was like 14 or something. He was like maybe 18. And he came late to the church camp because he was waiting to get the album. And he got the album, he brought it, and he's like, and then he put me in his car, and he's like, yo, you gotta listen to this album, right? Because he knows a hip-hop head. And he played the album, and I was like, this is Christian music, bro? And I heard that, and I literally sat there forever. And I'm pretty sure he gave me the album. And I remember listening to that, and at that moment, I'm like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be a rapper.
A lot of people need to hear Careta, because
bro,
slap some people up with that one.
Trust me. And it's yeah, bro. It's one of those albums that Tony Presidio.
Oh man, that song is next level, man.
Yeah, bro.
Just the keys in that song, everything. Beat,
it's incredible. It's like if you listen to there's a few albums that I would consider timeless, Christian or non-Christian. Vico C's Aquel que había muerto is one of those. Doesn't matter if it's Christian. DC Talk, they had an album, the first one that they had, Jesus Freak. The production on that album, incredible. Like, and I think that's one of the things that people lack a lot. Like we look at it and be like, oh, it's a Christian album. Like, oh, it's just a Christian artist. But it's like, no, like when you understand that, yo, there are geniuses behind this. And it's like when you understand Kanye West, Jay-Z, you know, Beyonce, all these artists take these producers and songwriters from there to produce their stuff. It's for a reason. I've known the biggest people within the industry that have come from those circles to produce these albums. So it's like when you listen to those albums, there's those same influences are right there. So yeah, man, off tangent, but yeah.
A Christian reggaeton album that I highly recommend to anybody. I've told you about it. Lutek, Resurrección.
Lutek. I never got into Lutek.
Oh man,
I never got into Lutek.
That album, like during that time that it came out, it was there.
Wow.
So I highly recommend that. Lutek, Resurrección.
Ivani Abi's album.
777, man.
Bro, what was it? I actually met Ivan. Is one of my like close friends now from Miami. Super cool. But for me, I remember Visionero y Adriel. We hated Ivani Abi because they were our like, it was like Wisin y Yandel versus Cristi Angel or Alex y Fido. Like it was like we were Visionero y Adriel and they were like Ivani Abi. Like, yo, these are our this is our competition. Mm-hmm. But you cannot deny the vocals of Ivani Abi. Tú eres para mí y yo soy para ti. Bro, his vocals are incredible. And it's like, I remember seeing him the first time. I'm like, yeah, this guy, yeah. All right. But we became really good friends, man. And he's like a worship leader at like a mega church in Atlanta now. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up. This is a little bit of a deep one, but who is the most influential person in your life and how did they impact you? And if it's somebody that's watching right now, just answer and look into the camera. So once again, who is the most influential person in your life and how did they impact you?
if you would have asked me before, it would have been my father.
Mhm.
Because my dad is, I think I'm a reflection of my dad, where he has never fit the mold of what a quote unquote Christian person is. But his fruits are there. You can see it. If you ask me now, my most influential person is my wife. My wife has been hands down the perfect example of who Jesus is. My whole life, and the perfect example of what faith is, and what sincerity is, humbleness. Yeah, like like that has been my biggest influence.
So tell her how you really feel. Look into the camera.
Oh no, she knows it. She knows it. I tell her every day. She knows you know it. You know it. You know, and it's yeah, like she has changed my life from, again, right? I have Kanye West and I have Jesus and my wife right here. That's what it is.
That's beautiful. Mary, you have anything else to add to it, or I'm good to go?
Just once again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this. I hope that you were able to take something from this conversation. Please subscribe, right? So that way this conversation and many others can reach more people. Please like the video. If you happen to tune into all the episodes, please make sure you know what time this happens at 7 p.m. on usually Tuesdays.
Usually
but
Tuesday,
this is a special day.
Yeah.
And just please make sure you subscribe, follow on Instagram, all of this stuff. We really need to have these conversations reach more people because they add a lot of value. Having a talk with Alx Veliz, Max Bernard, actually, today. It was very fruitful, I think, and I think a lot of people are going to be impacted by this. Hopefully, artists take something away from this. You know, up and coming artists as well. Thank you. You know.
Of course. So Max, like you mentioned, you have a project coming up. So if you don't mind, just let them know where they could follow you. You know, be up to date with everything that you're gonna release and all that good stuff.
I mean, you can follow me at ALX Music, ALX Veliz Music, and Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. Yeah, man. I mean, if you wanna find me, you can find me.
Hold on, I just thought of a quick question. Why the name Alx Veliz?
Well, my name is Max Alexander Bernard Veliz. And I always thought to myself, I'm like, there's no way Latinos are going to be able to pronounce Max Bernard. You know what I mean? They're going to say, ahora con ustedes, más Bernal. So I'm like, you know what? They're going to understand Alx Veliz. So I just said, let's put Alex and Veliz in there. So
yeah, I call him Maximiliano. Every time I call him, hey, Maximiliano.
Why not Visionero?
First of all, I found out that Visionero is not even proper Spanish. It's Visionario.
Yeah, but still, a twist on it.
And second of all, I don't know. I mean, I think it goes back to, like, Jacob and Israel and new names and like what God gives you and everything like that. Like it just
deep.
Listen, we're gonna have another conversation.
Trust me.
We're gonna
Abraham
have a part
to
two.
Abraham.
Trust me.
We're gonna have a part 2 so we can go deeper and continue this beautiful conversation. Because again, I'm still new to this stuff, and hearing you guys talk, this is beautiful.
Oh yeah, we can talk about some end times prophecy, man, with everything going on in the world.
We were having that conversation before the show started a little bit, right? So, but anyways, again, Max, thank you so much, brother. I love you, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was crying a couple of times during the show, especially when he was talking about the whole Dancing Kizomba stuff and how everything was happening, because I was there. And those conversations that we had at UPS, and everything that he was going through, and seeing my buddy, my friend, touch those stages and make all those people, enjoy his fruits of everything he's done and everything. Hearing you talk and hearing you, bring up those old conversations and those old moments, it just brought me back. So I'm very happy that, this happened. It's been 2 hours and 1 minute, almost 2 hours and 2 minutes. And it felt like it was half an hour. And thank you. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for the openness and being willing to talk about all this stuff. I love you. I'm proud of you. And again, like I said in the beginning of the show, this is the best is yet to come. I'm super excited to hear what's coming out next. And hopefully we get to see you perform more here at home. And again, just thank you. We'll have you back definitely another time. So thank you, Mario. Thank you, Alex. And yeah, guys, thank you again for joining. This has been episode number 4 of season number 2 of Lights, Camera, Accion, a podcast. So we're going to talk about anything and everything, but obviously with more depth, things that matter, things that actually, like Mario said, things that hopefully we could, bring clarity to people and hopefully, teach people some things or remind them that they're not alone and remind them that, we need good people around ourselves in order to feel better, when times get tough. And I feel like I'm rambling just because there's just so much to talk about. But again, thank you. I really appreciate it that you guys have been here. For those that, again, have not been here before, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we are going to be having the show next Thursday. Just because, again, the people that I'm going to have on, Tatiana DeVos is going to be on here next week, Thursday, and she just lands, I think she lands on Tuesday night or whatever. But
shout out Tatiana.
Yes, Tati is going to be here next week, Thursday, and I potentially, hopefully, if the lovely Karen is still watching, who once again is the boss lady of the Brampton Latin Festival and the one of the driving forces of that beautiful festival happening in Brampton, which we have a date. I think it's September 19th, if I'm not mistaken. And hopefully, who knows?
That's my birthday, bro.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I was going to ask you if you wanted to work that day to help pack up again. But
oh, man.
If you say yes, I'll make sure I have a cake for you. And hopefully, who knows? We have Max on the show.
You said the 19th,
festival.
right?
Yeah, Sábado 19th. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of Lights, Camera, Accion. And hopefully I get to see you guys next week. And be good, be kind. And if you're not good, just give me a call, all right? Take care, guys. Ciao.
Take care, people.